going on, guys? Mike for Sim Racing 604, and you are looking at the Race Sim Studio RSS 1970 V8 for Assetto Corsa. This is arguably the most ambitious and definitely the most detailed mod for AC by what many people consider to be the best modding team in sim racing. Race Sim Studio has built a name for themselves dating back as far as 2017, making paid mods for PC, and their reputation for excellence remains intact with this one. The 1970 V8 represents the oldest car in the lineup of cars from Race Sim Studio, and this one dates back some 50 years and edges out the Formula 79 in terms of age. And I want to linger there for just a brief moment because that Formula 79 by Race Sim Studio still ranks among my top forgotten gems for Assetto Corsa, and no doubt lessons learned from that Formula 79 project have carried forward into this 1970. So what are we looking at with this 1970 V8? Well, it shouldn't be hard to guess that this is Race Sim Studio's take on a Formula 1 car from roughly a half century ago, and often to avoid copyright issues, RSS has taken pertinent regulations and built a car to suit rather than perfectly remaking a car from the real F1 lineup. But we do see similarities to something that would have been on the F1 grid in 1970, and typically my audience is better at identifying the nuances and subtleties of the car design than I am. But to me, this model with the front wings looks a lot like the March Ford 701, but if I've got that wrong, be sure to drop a correction in the comments. But back to the mod and what it means for Assetto Corsa. Well, as mentioned previously, this is RSS's most detailed project to date, and that's really saying something. A few months ago, VRC, or Virtual Racing Cars, broke our brains pretty much with their Formula Alpha mod, which featured details like moving driver's feet and flexible front wing, porpoising effects, visual camber and toe adjustments, and more. And VRC really raised the bar for what can be expected from a mod for Assetto Corsa, and this 1970 V8 takes things even further. There's a booklet that accompanies the 1970 V8 when you purchase it, and Race Sim Studio has noted the following features of this car. There are 2 distinct variations. There's 7 different wing and aero packages, each with animated front and rear wings. There's foot animations for the accelerator, brake, and clutch. There's a custom driver with retro balaclava and the option to run with the visor up. The driver blinks, the engine sounds were recorded from an actual engine, there's a custom pit mechanic, and there's countless animations including fuel visibly flowing into the engine. And now, does the driver blinking and the animated throttle linkage matter when you're driving? Not really, and I'm certain that there's room for people to say that this is just gimmicks, but to me, details like this show how much care and attention has gone into this mod from the Race Sim Studio team. Yes, of course, they want to move units and make money, but they also work hard to earn that business, and they don't rush the mod out to market as soon as it's in a passable state. But of course, none of the details or features matter if the car doesn't drive well, so let's get out on track. Alright, guys. Don't mind me, just stalling this mod to showcase it. But we got it going, got our CPU cooled, got this RSS 1970 V8 here at Thompson Road in Singapore. Just gonna turn some laps, obviously leaving the pits, everything's cold, so I gotta take it pretty easy. A little bit of hang time there, nothing bad. That's gotta be one of the most vicious corners ever to be used in racing, but we survived it that time. And I will leave a link for this track in the description before you ask. Woo! So again, just kind of waiting for things to get up to temperature here. Everything's cold coming out of the pits. Don't want to push too hard just yet. And frankly, it's not a car I'm really comfortable pushing, so I'll do my best, but do not expect Andretti levels of mastery of this car. And hopefully I got the audio mix right and you can hear that engine, because apparently it was taken from real samples. And it sounds phenomenal. It really does. This is one of those cars that I tend to struggle with. I don't do well with these classic F1 cars, especially going back one decade, I guess, before this. It's a kind of, mid-60s, late 60s Sorry, that's not a decade before 1970, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, 1960s F1 cars is where I struggle the most, but barely have better luck with 1970s. So this is a car that I will not get on with well, but I have done some installation laps here of this RSS 1970 V8, and I quite enjoy it. It demands a lot of you for sure, more than I'm used to with what I typically drive, but can be very rewarding. It's so hands-on, it's so analog, and such a pure feeling of driving that it leads to that sort of rewarding feeling once you get everything nailed, once you approach a corner correctly and just sail through it, get a good exit. It's all you. It's not electronic systems. It's not super grippy tires. It's not anything like that. It's just you and your driving, and yeah, that's pretty awesome. So Race Sim Studio has done a bunch of variations of this car and different visual effects based on the aero you select. I shouldn't say a bunch of variations. There's only 2 car variations, but there's a number of sort of sub variations within that in terms of the looks of the car, because as you adjust the wing angle in the pits, it also changes it visually. So yeah, I'm running 1 click up both on front and rear because there's a lot of high-speed cornering here at Thompson Road. And seems to be working well. It's got a slightly different look on the outside. I'll try and get a replay of this for you guys. Alright, should have everything pretty much up to temp here. We're coming to the end of this lap, and then I should be able to push basically as hard as I am able to in this 1970 F1 car. Hopefully put in a decent lap. Alright, here we go, start finish, up to 5th gear, but the only time on this circuit. As we come over this crest, we're going to catch a little bit of air, got to try and hold on to it. And then blip shifting all the way down to 1, of course, for this hairpin, 1 of 3 hairpins at Thompson Road. Got to kind of ease into the throttle. Little lift here, probably could have taken it flat if I had the right angle. A lot of this section here, kind of towards the end of the first sector, I believe, just can be taken in 2nd gear. You can just focus on finding that limit of traction. And then we'll go down to 1st gear for the 2nd of 3 hairpins. Little too much throttle there, kicked the back end out, managed to hold on to it mercifully. And basically a blind downshift there. You gotta expect that the corner is coming and start your downshift before you can even see the corner. It's pretty cool, pretty amazing circuit. Shout out to Fat Alfie on this one. And my line through there was horrible, but we survived. All right, do a couple more laps here. So what is my opinion of the Race Sim Studio RSS 1970 V8 for Assetto Corsa on PC? Well, I think, for what it is, I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think this is, I hate to say it, but it's kind of the level of quality we've come to expect from Race Sim Studio, and anything less than this would probably be a disappointment at this stage. It's unfortunate that they've raised their own bar so high that this is kind of what we expect from them, and I think if this was their first offering in the market, we would absolutely have our minds blown, but as it stands, this one just kind of fits into the book of work, or the, what's the term I'm searching for here? This fits into the catalog of work that Race Sim Studio produces for Assetto Corsa. So if this is the type of car you like, if you like these classic F1 cars, I mean, I don't think there's much on this level, frankly. Is this my favorite type of car to drive in sim racing? No. These cars tend to be very punishing for me. I'm not good at driving them at all. But yeah, again, if this is what you look for in a car, hard to beat it. And yeah, that feeling, that analog feeling, that feeling of connectedness with the car, it's like everything you do, good or bad, in this car is your doing. It's not electronic systems. It's not, you know, anything but you. And there is definitely something to be said for that. I think this is the type of car that will, you know, not reach the level of sales that, say, the Formula Hybrid does. Of course, you know, we're bombarded as motorsports fans, we're bombarded with imagery of modern Formula 1 cars more so than a car like this, but that doesn't make this any less great. So again, if you like this style of F1 and, you know, have interest in driving these cars, and yeah, definite recommendation. Whoa, 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 coming in hot, coming in hot. Woo. My foot was kind of stuck on the accelerator pedal there. Trying to blip shift and got things all messed up. Such a brilliant track too. Perfect testing ground for this 1970 V8. You could just, I don't know if you can hear it, but under my dumb voice is the sound of tires squealing. Working hard trying to find that traction. This car comes with both slicks and grooved tires. I'm running the groove tire. Presumably a little bit less traction in that case. Come on, Mike. Oh, no. Tough little section here. It's all about the line, and I just can't seem to find that line. Ooh, horrible end to this lap. All right, let's go one more. Hopefully we don't bin it on the final lap. It seems like I'm getting complacent with the car, so bad things may start to happen. Try and carry a little more speed over this crest here. Woo! And then let's see if I can not get my foot stuck on the accelerator pedal here. Better, but too early on the brakes. That's all right. Gotta always leave room for improvement, right? Or always find things to improve upon. Just holding on to second gear here, trying to find the limits of traction. And once again, down to first gear for the hairpin. Woo! Those rear tires wanted to light up there. Come on, Mike, you could push harder than that. I don't know why I broke so early there. Forgot where I was on the circuit. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Get your head in the game. All right, we can't end on this. Let's go one more time here at Thompson Road. I'm definitely not having a bad time, so I'm happy to put in one more lap here. And that sound, man, I just cannot get over that sound. You can see probably just the edges of your screen. Whoops, come on. Probably just at the edges of your screen, you can see all the suspension components working. Such a cool level of detail here in this 1970. Hold on, Mikey. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Come on. By the way, I think my face is off camera. You're welcome. But I've had a smile on my face for at least the last minute. This is a lot of fun. Yes. How did I hold on to that? I don't know. I just can't seem to stay off of the gravel in that corner. But I think this is going to have to do it, folks. I need to work on learning this course and this car a bit better, and I'm happy to do so. Really, really nice job to Race Sim Studio. Not so great job by the driver in this video, but had a fun time driving it. Well done to RSS. Thank you guys so much for watching. Mod is, what, £3.29 I think I saw? So I think that's about $5 US, €5. So should be available now in the Race Sim Studio store. Links are in the description for car and track. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.